Hello, it's Saturday the 8th of April and this is your Birmingham News Weekend Magazine. It's the weekend, so I'm here with you for the next hour to take a look at what's going on around our area. It's Birmingham, it's the West Midlands and beyond. Yes, hello, welcome to the Birmingham News Weekend Magazine. Coming up on today's show, all the usual bits and pieces. We'll be looking at what's up on this week's community notice board. Carl Jones will have his weekend business update and we'll remind ourselves what's been going on around our area too. Later on, Carl will return with the film charts. Steve Green and Jason Forrest will join us with some more interesting guests, and I'll be talking to a DJ who is going to be doing a 24-hour plus set on the radio. Norman Bartlam will tell us what's so special about this month, and Johnny Doom will share his pick of the gigs. So it's all within the pages of this week's Weekend Magazine. So then, time for the community notice board, which is the news that you send to us. And if there's something we could mention, then please do get in touch, but as always, give us plenty of notice. We'll give you those all important details in a few minutes' time. First, ready, steady, grow. Gardeners and would-be gardeners are being invited to kickstart their gardening year with fun green-fingered gardening activities at the Big Dig Food Growing Event. It's at Martineau Gardens on Saturday the 22nd of April. Now the community garden in Edgbaston is hosting the free event to encourage people to grow their own food no matter how big or small their grow spaces or how much or how little experience they actually have. Now the event will include drop-in food growing workshops to inspire even the most reluctant gardener to don their gardening gloves. Activities include hands-on vegetable growing techniques and seed bombing, whatever that may be. There'll be plant and compost sales, plus tea and homemade cakes will be on offer. Now if you've never been, Martineau Gardens is just a couple of miles outside of Birmingham city centre on Priory Road in Edgbaston, and it's a green oasis teeming with wildlife. It's looked after by volunteers, many of whom have mental health issues and learning disabilities. It's a place where school children often visit to learn more about science and environmental issues. There's woodland, glass houses, a formal garden, an orchard, demonstration food growing areas, wildflower meadow and a pond and wildlife area with slink status. So the Big Dig Food Growing Event takes place on Saturday the 22nd of April. Entry's free and you can find out more by calling 0121 440 7430 or look them up at www.martineau-gardens.org.uk. Now, as I said, it's all part of the Big Dig Day, which is the biggest ever community gardening day, and so for details of other participating Birmingham gardens you can go to www.bigdig.org.uk/Birmingham. Now, students at a school in Bushbury are the first to get their hands on some of the life-size wolves set to bring a splash of colour to the city from July to September. You might remember we mentioned this recently. Now, a pack of 3 fiberglass wolves have been delivered to the Morton School in Old Fallings Lane as part of the Wolves in Wolves project. Yeah, that one. Now, as with other designers across the city, the school has been partnered with sponsors to create artwork to decorate the wolves. The pupils, aged between 11 and 18, have been working on designs for the mayoral wolf, with the Mayor of Wolverhampton, Councillor Barry Findlay, set to choose the winner soon. Wolves in Wolves is being organised by the Outside Centre and Enjoy Wolverhampton with support from the City of Wolverhampton Council. It's set to see 30 sculptures of wolves placed around the city of Wolverhampton, creating the largest public art event in the city. The wolves will form a trail of approximately 4.5 miles with maps going to be available nearer the time, so there's no excuse, you'll see them everywhere. The ambition with Wolves in Wolves is to combine a quality artistic and cultural event with associated public health, educational and economic benefits. Once the event is finished, the majority of the sculptures will be auctioned off to raise money for several charities. Regular updates on Wolves in Wolves will be available at www.wolvesinwolves.co.uk. Now, if you thought that sailing was something you could never do, 7 clubs and centres in Birmingham and Solihull will show you that it is. With the Royal Yachting Association Push the Boat Out, Have a Go sessions in May. You'll probably remember we've mentioned this before. Now, Midland, Bartley, Tamworth, Barnt Green, Alton Mere and Earlswood Lakes sailing clubs plus Edgbaston Water Sports are all giving people a chance to discover something completely different outdoors at free and low-cost sailing and windsurfing events throughout May. Over 20,000 people of all ages and abilities regularly go down to their local sailing club every month across the Midlands, sailing small sailboats or windsurfing on the region's reservoirs, lakes and rivers, and just loving the freedom and buzz of being on the water. You don't even need a boat to learn to sail locally, as the clubs have ones that you can use, or you can rent one for your family or group. Now, every event provides all the equipment that you'll need with refreshments available. All you need is a towel and some trainers that you don't mind getting wet. So if you want any information about any of that, have a look at www.rya.org.uk/PTBO 2017, and PTBO is Push the Boat Out. Now, a recently retired police sergeant from Solihull has been named the winner of a national photography competition for a shot taken during his best week of his life. Yeah, Andrew Gregory's image, entitled Homeward Bound, captured 2 elephants at a safari park near Cape Town, which he took the week that he got engaged. Now, the shot will now be used to advertise Calumet Photography's forthcoming open days, and as a result of winning that competition, Andrew has also been given £250 worth of Calumet gift cards to spend on equipment. Now, his trip to Cape Town was planned to celebrate Andrew's retirement from West Midlands Police after 30 years in the service, and he says he now wants to embark upon a career in photography, and he's working hard on his website where he'll showcase his work. The next Calumet Open Day is in our area is in Birmingham on Thursday the 27th of April. So if you want to find more about that and have another look at his photo, take a look at www.calphoto.co.uk/open-days. And congratulations to Andrew and his new fiancée Joanne. So there we go, that's what we found pinned to this week's community notice board. If you know about something we could tell people about, why don't you get in touch? Give us something like a week's notice and we'll do our best to get it on here. You can tell us about it in a number of ways. You can email news@madeinbirmingham.tv, or if social media is your thing, look us up, send us a message. We are at MadeInBHAM or just use the hashtag Birmingham News and we shall find you. We'll have more for you at the same time next week.
Thanks very much. Time to take a look at some of the business news and views from around our region over the last 7 days. Well, we mentioned it briefly last week, but I think we should just say a proper congratulations to all the companies who picked up awards at the Birmingham Business Awards held at the ICC in front of a huge crowd of 1,200 people. It was Loki Wines from the Great Western Arcade, a thriving wine merchants business founded in 2012, which emerged as a double winner. They were voted Business of the Year and they also won the Excellence in Retail Award. An intensive programme of global activity earned Burton and South Derbyshire College the title of Excellence in International Business. From a huge number of entries received for the contribution to the community category, the judges selected the Muslim Women's Network UK. And the winners kept on coming. Oldbury UK Limited and Borton Engineering Limited won the Excellence in Manufacturing Award. They've got a remarkable story actually. Their turnaround came from the depths of the recession and it's flourished since acquiring Reynolds Borton from administration. Great Escape Cars, winners of the social media title in last year's awards, followed it up this time with victory in the Excellence in Sales and Marketing category. The NEC Group won the award for Excellence in People Development and the award for the biggest cheer of the night. And the Customer Service Award went to A-Plan, so big congratulations to all the winners. It was a fabulous night, just showing what scale the business community really is all about in our region. Now, management at Birmingham Airport have been reflecting on a record-breaking start to 2017 as they welcomed another new airline to the city. Jet2 have officially launched their first flight and now have 57 weekly flights, creating over 200 jobs here in Birmingham. No wonder Chief Executive Paul Kehoe was feeling upbeat.
Well, for every million passengers that we produce each year, and an airline like this will produce over the next 12 months, 1 million passengers, there are about 600 or 700 jobs created with the airline, with the airport authority, and then more in the wider community itself. So it becomes an economic engine. And so that's why when the airport hits its 12 million passengers, we'll be looking after about 10,000 people on site, with many more thousands across the West Midlands. Well, we're in the middle of spending £100 million of our shareholders' money improving the facility.
To jobs and future prospects now, and a careers and apprenticeship event took place at Wolverhampton Racecourse with schools taking a look at their options. There was also a chance for anyone of any age to get involved, whether they've already got a job or not. Aaron Wiggins joined the crowds.
Apprenticeships are very much the topic of discussion at the moment, and in Wolverhampton, many who spearhead apprenticeships are keen to point out that they're not just for young people.
Apprenticeships start from the age of 16, and you can do an apprenticeship right up until the age of 60 if you so wish. The idea behind that is to get anybody who wants to retrain or get onto the skills ladder and into employment can go an apprenticeship route. There are lots of adults particularly who are already employed but see the opportunity for their training to be funded whilst they're earning, whilst they're in employment, to retrain or to progress within that existing company.
Don't forget, if there's something you think we should be talking about, send me an email to carl.jones@madeinbirmingham.tv.
Thanks, Carl. Time for a break now. When we come back, Carl will be back a bit later in the show with this week's new films as well as the film chart, and we'll hear from our intrepid reporters Steve Green and Jason Forrest. Right after the break though, we'll be catching up with what's been happening in and around our area during the past week or so. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show with me, Lee Bannister. Now for a look back at some of the things which have been going on around our area. And the former glassworks in the Black Country is facing an exciting future under new proposals to bring it back to life. The former Chance Brothers Glassworks on Spon Lane once made glass for distinguished buildings including the Houses of Parliament and the White House, and their glass could also be seen on the clock tower which houses Big Ben. Now the derelict site was abandoned in 1981 and it's laid empty ever since, but it may be brought back to life in the near future.
Chance Brothers factory has lain derelict since 1981, but if plans for the Chance Glassworks Heritage Trust come to fruition, then restoration of the site could start in the near future. Now a consultation with members of the public has been held at Sandwell Council House, and people were able to give their views on the outlined proposals.
Consultations are vital. We are very, very keen to make sure that this is a people's project. The concept of elitism has no place in this project whatsoever.
But importantly, the project not just restores the site and its industrial assets, but creates a regeneration project for the local economy and for local people as well going forward. And that is as important as restoring the buildings are.
Well, we're at a very early stage, but we're trying to map out a future for the building, which is for the site, which is pretty derelict, but it's so historic and complicated. It's a scheduled ancient monument with lots of underground tunnels. There are 8 listed buildings, and it's in a conservation area. Most of the 8 listed buildings are in a very poor state of repair, and none of it currently has any viable economic use.
And an important and an amazing feature could well be a lighthouse, signifying the importance of Chance's role in that industry, and it could well signify a beacon of excellence for the Black Country and shed light on its industrial past. Norman Bartlam, Birmingham News.
Now, most people are content to put their feet up and take life a little easier when they reach the age of 70 years. But that's not the case for one septuagenarian from Hall Green. Hazel Williams is enrolled to take part in this month's Great Birmingham 10K Run, and it's all to raise money for a good cause, as Norman Bartlam reports.
So you're 70, so why on earth do you want to do this 10K run?
I've done everything for the family and it's now my turn. So, and MS is for my daughter and it's something I've always wanted to do. So I thought I'd enter. I was looking for a 5K one, but I've signed up for 10. Yeah, walk, run or crawl as somebody has said.
As long as you get round it, it doesn't matter how you do it, does it?
I hope not, no. I just hope there's some people left when I get back and they haven't all gone home.
So tell me a little bit about your training then.
Right, I have a small Jack Russell dog which I walk daily, so he's been on my training run. I'm just doing gentle runs, I did 4 miles yesterday, which I think is about the longest I've done. So that's not too far off the 10k. So and I'm fine this morning, so that's okay.
So what do your friends think? You're out in the park running?
They all think I'm nuts, but then my name was Hazel Smallwood, so therefore, you know, I've always been known as a nut. No, they're all behind me. Nobody's in front or by the side of me. They're all behind me. So yeah, that's why I showed my back before, so they can see what I look like.
So there's not long to go now, is there, before the big race itself?
No, 4 weeks, 30th of April.
So you've got a bit more jogging to do?
Yes, a little more, yes,
Bit
but
more
you're all
training.
welcome to come and join me.
In fact, I'll come along and join you on the rest of this run, I think, now.
Ah, thanks very much.
Second thoughts, my phone's ringing. I've got to go. I'll leave it
okay,
to you. Leave it to it.
Bye.
Poor, lucky to get out of that one. Norman Bartlam, Birmingham News.
Well, now, things don't often go quite to plan, and while Norman was filming that piece, he discovered that running alongside a sprightly 70-year-old whilst talking and holding a television camera is perhaps not always the best idea.
Okay, go.
Right.
I don't believe it. Help!
Sorry about that. I forgot that.
And Norman will be back fully recovered, hopefully, in a few minutes' time. Well then, now it's time for some movie news, a little earlier than usual, and fresh from his daily film slot in the Lowdown, this time wearing his movie expert hat, it's back to Carl Jones.
Hi there, Lee. Well, we've been in Chinatown in Birmingham this week following the fortunes of the Flat Pack Film Festival, the 11th season of this, which launched right here at the start of the week and is going strong until the 9th of April. A whole host of different movies. Some amazing venues have been going on. This weekend, of course, we had the outdoor showing of Take Me High, a bizarre Cliff Richard movie from the 1970s, among one of the highlights. But I want to take a look today at some of the movies that have opened across all of our cinemas this week. The first one is The Boss Baby. This is an animated film. So the premise of this one is that babies are at war with pets because they feel that the pets are getting all the love, they're too cute, and the babies are missing out. So the babies strap on their sharp suits and go to war. Take a look at this.
The Templetons were making plans for their newest addition.
What the? Damn!
Meet your new But this baby has other plans.
We babies are having a crisis. Babies aren't getting as much love as we used to. Behold our mortal enemy, puppies.
Aww.
No! That's exactly the problem. Have you learned anything?
A, B, C, D.
No, what have you learned about puppies?
Hey, puppy!
No, Jimbo, puppies are evil. Stacy, read back the notes.
I can't read. What's it say? Boss, period!
Oh, it's like they're having their own little meeting. Who wants dessert?
This is so humiliating. You got the right baby for this job. I know how important this mission is to the company.
Mission? You can talk!
Ah! Poop duty! I've got to deal with the KID.
Who are you?
I'm on a mission. There's not enough love to go around. My job is to find out why. Now give me a double espresso and see if there's some place around here with decent sushi. I'd kill for a spicy tuna roll right about now.
Mom, Dad, the baby can talk!
This is war. Let go, you little...
Look, the kids are finally getting along.
That's nice.
If I don't succeed with this mission, I will live here forever with you.
Okay, I will help you, but just to get rid of you.
Deal.
Here comes the choo-choo train.
No. No.
They're watching. Choo-choo.
Okay.
Choo-choo on that. How do we get past the guard? I've never been so humiliated in all my life.
No matter where you're from, it's where you're at. If you can't freak a leak, better bring your head for the East Coast.
I don't wear nautical.
He's putting this thing on.
What have you done to me?
What's all the racket?
Isn't he adorable?
Oh, I've got one for you too.
What?
Bummer.
DreamWorks, The Boss Baby.
Alec Baldwin and Steve Buscemi in the voiceover cast of that one, and a comedy that works on lots of levels. If you prefer comedy though with some real Hollywood legends, well, I can recommend Going in Style. Michael Caine, Alan Arkin and Morgan Freeman in this one as three pensioners who feel like the banks have done them out of the pensions that they feel they deserve, so they decide to take the law into their own hands and go off and rob a bank. Have a look.
Seeing an overdrawn balance in your daily checking.
Yeah, my mortgage payment tripled.
I've disclosed the possibility of a rate hike during your refi. Do you remember that?
Everyone on the ground, now!
The three men walked off with $1.6 million.
They choreographed it like a dance.
A conga line right into prison.
They didn't get caught.
Semtex Steel has frozen all pension payments.
I'm thinking of robbing a bank.
Yeah. You pick exactly what's on the pension, right?
That's all I want.
What if we get more?
We give it to charity. It's time for a practice run. We'll be right back.
I don't want to stay in the car. It's hot in here.
Hello, Al.
I gotta get some chicken thighs.
Breasts are better than thighs, don't you think?
Never has anybody walked off with a whole pork loin.
Jump in the basket.
Who the hell you think I am? E.T.? I don't know what's going on in the world anymore. Look what you did to Cindy. She's looking like a Colombian drug mule.
We're gonna need professional help.
You think?
You 5-0?
We're practically 8-0.
From now on, you communicate by texting.
How do you work without buttons?
It's a touchscreen.
I'm groping it all over, nothing happens.
Reminds me of the time we went to Reno. We ate like kings.
We were kings. We still are.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's it really for film news this week. Don't forget, Beauty and the Beast is still top of the box office at the West Midlands, a visual feast. So if you fancy that, well worth seeing on the big screen. If you've got something going on in the movie world, send me an email. I'd love to talk to you about it. It's carl.jones@madeinbirmingham.tv. See you next week.
Right, time to take a short break. When we come back, we'll be hearing from our intrepid reporter, Steve Green, and I'll be meeting a radio DJ who's going live on air for well over 24 hours. I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to the programme with me, Lee Bannister. Now, time to see who Steve Green has been talking with this week.
Hi Lee. Dark deeds have been planned in the Midlands. Thievery, murder. And I'm here in ACOT Screen to meet two of the people responsible. Midland filmmakers Fernando Mathey and Lawrence Danello. Fernando, Lawrence, please tell me a little bit about your new film Artichoke.
Okay, so it's an Italian-English thriller about a hitman who's come from Italy to do a job for an old friend. It's something that we wanted to kind of highlight regarding the English-Italian connection. We feel that it's been done in America and other countries have done their thing in England, but we haven't really elaborated on the English-Italian thing.
Yeah. This, of course, is set in Worcester as well.
It is, yeah. It was all shot in Worcester, and there are certain areas around Worcester, and it was good, yeah. Lawrence and his wife Melissa, they both wrote the script, and and then obviously after you've read it and you collaborate together, and it just grows, and it becomes more real, and yeah, it was good. Really enjoyed it.
So, what point did you come on board with this one, Lawrence?
Well, I wrote the script, so basically I got offered the opportunity. My brother and sister had bought a house, and it was needed renovating, and I decided that I wanted to shoot something, and I saw an opportunity to shoot a feature film, and so I said, okay, look, I'll write a script based around this house, because trying to get house locations in Worcester, it's actually quite difficult.
So you took your brother's house and used it as a set?
Correct. Oh. And so between me and my wife, we developed the script, and we tapped into my culture, our heritage, which is obviously we're all of Italian descent, and Italians have been in the Midlands for a long time.
Indeed.
And we wanted to kind of delve into that a little bit. And
well, it's nice to actually see a thriller where it's not just set in London, as most of these things are. It's set in a proper area in the centre of the country with a whole different culture.
Yeah, we use kind of an area in Worcester as well where it used to be a big Italian community. So we also shot in various areas, like 2 restaurants, and they were both, you know, they kind of had that kind of connection and feeling that we wanted for the film. And one of them goes back to having Italian heritage itself, which was nice for the film.
You've got quite a few well-known names in the film as well.
Yeah, we had Vincenzo Nicoli, who played the boss, Francesco Tribuzio, who plays the Italian. I worked with Francesco before on The Taxi, which was my first short. We had Sophie Canaire, and Chris Toretto and Greg Hobbs. So yeah, I've worked with a few of the actors and actresses before on various shorts and stuff.
And also people behind the camera.
Yeah, behind the camera as well.
I've got quite a amount of repute as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Lisa, I worked with on my second short, which
That's
was a
Lisa
budgeted.
Mazzolini.
Yeah, we worked with on my second short, and she was great. She's kind of my eyes. She's brilliant. She's everything. You know,
she's a bit of a jet setter as well.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is. And with this as well, she just took the ball by the horns and done it. Lisa was living with me for the 2.5 weeks that we were shooting. And we kind of connected more, and it was great.
Now, I do recall that when The Godfather came out back in the 1970s, there were complaints in the American-Italian community that they were once again being shown as gangsters. Do you think there'll be complaints in the Worcester and Kidderminster Italian community?
I'd like if there was complaints. No, I don't think there will.
Possibly.
I think it's more of. I think they'll find it interesting. What we've tried to do is use our. When I had the script given to me, I was reading it, and it felt like it was great. I loved the story, but it felt like there was something missing. And what was we come to the core of it, and what was missing is the Italianness to it. If you know what I mean. So the way we say things over here, and the way we are, and we actually added that, didn't we? We added that to the film and made it real.
Well, I guess, having the script co-written by somebody who's of an Italian background and being directed by somebody with an Italian background, it gives it an authenticity that possibly if someone just came along and, wrote Italian, it just wouldn't work.
No, we wanted to step away from that fedora and kind of suit gangster and make it more real. Because that's kind of when you say, you got that Al Capone kind of thing, haven't you, going on all the time.
So it's going to be coming out hopefully in the late summer?
Hopefully the late summer. We were discussing, at the minute, we're just going through talks with editing and grading film and stuff like that. And it's good, yeah. Everything's going smoothly, and it's given us time to work on other projects that we've worked on in the past and finish those.
Well, that's excellent. It's very nice to meet both of you anyway.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Steve, and as ever, he'll return with more next week. Now for someone I caught up with a few days ago. So then, have you ever stayed awake for more than 24 hours? Or about 36 hours? How about being a DJ and playing tunes for that amount of time? Well, I haven't done it, but I know a man who has, and he's here with me now. It's James. Hello.
Hello, how
James
you doing?
Levitt from WCR FM. I'm very well, how are you?
I'm well. I'm very nervous at the moment.
So, okay, we've talked about 24 hours, 36 hours. What's the reference to 24 hours? You've done something like this before. Explain what you've done.
So yes, just over a year ago, I went live on the radio in Wolverhampton for 24 hours to raise money for Compton Hospice. I chose a charity who support life-limiting patients and their families. They've been doing that for over 30 years now. And we raised over £1,000, which went directly to the charity during that 24-hour radio broadcast.
So you thought you'd do it again because they've had a bit of bad luck lately, haven't they?
So yes, so obviously since the last broadcast and during the last 4 months, they've had break-ins at 6 of their charity stores around Wolverhampton, which has resulted in an estimated repair bill of around £5,000 to £10,000, which, as you can imagine, has been a massive blow to the charity. Yeah. And it hit me quite hard because after doing the last broadcast and the amazing response we had from it, raising all that money, I thought, we went to all that trouble to support the charity, and now we've kind of had this happen, and it's kind of been thrown back in our faces and everyone else's faces that have supported Compton along the way. And I thought we need to do our bit again and raise the bar this time and do something bigger.
36 hours? Are you mad?
Yeah.
Shouldn't say that, should I, really?
Yeah, when we did the 24 hours last year, I was thinking we can't just do 24 hours again this year. We've got to really push the boat out and do everything we physically can to make it look even bigger and better, and hopefully raise more money than we did last year.
Mm-hmm. So last time you were in the studio for the full 24 hours?
Yes.
Toilet breaks, I assume?
Yeah, we had toilet breaks, but yeah, I had no sleeping breaks whatsoever. It was constant, non-stop, live on the radio. We even had exercise bikes in the studio where I had to cycle at one part of the broadcast and actually be on the radio at the same time as well.
That's not a bad idea.
Proved to be a pretty hard thing, but it kept me going.
So the things to keep you awake this time, you're not actually stopping in the studio?
Yeah, it's going to be a non-stop broadcast, so I'll start in the studio Easter Bank Holiday Monday at 9 a.m. I'll continue straight through until 9 p.m. the following day, which is the full 36 hours. During the broadcast itself, I will constantly be on air, but I'll also be moving around remotely to different locations around Wolverhampton as well.
Oh, it'd be like a bit of a treasure hunt.
Yes,
People can come and follow you, I suppose.
So people can follow us, they can interact with us. It's going to be even bigger than it was last year. I'm really excited.
And of course, you've got an impressive team around you, haven't you?
Yes, we've got an even bigger team this year, actually. Loads of producers, so these are volunteers that work at WCR, as well as, of course, we're a voluntary organisation. Also celebrating our 10th year on FM in Wolverhampton this year, which is absolutely massive for us.
See, I know WCR quite well because I was there right from kind of the beginning of the FM station, a little bit beforehand. So it's kind of a cause close to my heart in as much as the radio station. But of course, Compton as well, being such a local place, it's nice to support.
It really is, and it's close to so many people's hearts in not just Wolverhampton, all over the Midlands. It supports people all over.
So of course people can listen to you on the radio.
So yeah, come Easter Bank Holiday Monday, when we actually attempt to do this crazy marathon of a broadcast, people will not only be able to listen across Wolverhampton, they can also watch me as well. And pretty much live with me for 36 hours by watching me on the website.
That's how you're selling it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Live with you for 36 hours.
That's kind of the way we're doing it this year.
So what sort of music are you playing? Or is it anything, everything, or something really specific?
It's going to be quite vast this year. It's pretty much what the listeners want to hear. We're going to have loads of special guests in the studio, lots of live music as well. So yeah, you can expect pretty much everything. There's certainly going to be something for everyone.
Oh, looking forward to this. So if people want to donate, what's the way they can do
if people want to donate and get behind me ahead of the broadcast, they can go over to justgiving.com/WCRFM.
That's great. Can people come and watch on the day?
They actually can, yes. Yeah. So if you really want to check out what we're doing and see me put through the paces, you can come down to the studios as well on the day, which you're more than welcome to. Also on the different locations that I'll be attending during the broadcast as well, we'll be publishing that on our Facebook page, so you can pop down and see us wherever we are.
Sounds quite exciting. You looking forward to it?
I am, yeah. Looking forward to it. Nervous, excited, but yeah, it's a massive opportunity for not just myself, but the station on a whole as well.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, how do you prepare for this sort of thing? Do you know, sort of adjusting your sleeping patterns, or?
When you talk about sleeping patterns, I don't really know, because I'm a full-time DJ as well, so I work every night in the nightclub, so it's quite hard.
Do you ever sleep?
So, yeah, it's pretty hard.
Great, so again, it's Bank Holiday Monday to the Tuesday.
Yes, so we start 9 a.m. Bank Holiday Monday, carry on straight through till 9 p.m. the following day.
Well, I shall be listening.
Thank you.
Very best of luck.
I'm going to need it.
And good luck to James, all in a good cause. But rather him than me. I like my sleep, you see. Time to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got an appointment with Jason in the Milk Bar, and Norman will be here to look back to see what's so special about this week. I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to the final part of today's programme with me, Lee Bannister. Now we're going to cross to the Milk Bar with Jason Forrest, which reflects what's happening in and around our area, often with a focus on Wolverhampton. It's on the radio and it's a podcast, and Jason's here each week with his guests. Now this week, West Bromwich Operatic Society have their latest production, Rock of Ages, on stage. It's between the 25th and the 29th of April, and Jason Forrest found out more about it from three of the cast.
From the 25th to 29th of April, Rock of Ages is brought to life by West Bromwich Operatic Society. They're at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre, and three of them are with me now. Hello!
Oh, yeah. Hi. All right.
So, Dave, Olivia and Simon, it's going to be a fantastic show. There's brilliant music in it. Dave, tell us about what you're doing to start off with.
I'm playing the part of Drew, who's a young, fresh-faced rocker who wants to make it as a big rock star.
Hey, you got a quiff. You look more boy band than rocker.
Yeah, I'll be wearing a wig in the show,
okay.
So I'll be having my long locks. So it won't be recognisable, perhaps.
No one will know it's you, not even your mother?
No, probably not.
And Olivia, what's your part?
I'm playing Sherry, who is Drew's kind of love interest in the show.
She's just moved from a small town, and she comes to work at the same bar.
And Simon, ageing rocker.
What do you mean ageing? Well, I've got a wig too, so I'm a bit younger by the show, hopefully. I play Lonnie Barnett, who essentially is the narrator for the show, but he's also a character in the club.
And the music in this is just absolutely phenomenal. Talk us through some of the tracks.
The title track probably is Don't Stop Believing. What else we got, guys?
I want to know what love is.
I say that because they sing most of the music.
You're just watching.
Yeah, that's it. I Want to Rock.
Yeah, there's loads of songs. We've got the local Come On Feel the Noise, so some Slade in there as well. So,
and an absolutely massive sort of set of songs, and you've got to sing them loud and proud and really make the most of it. And all this along with the story to contend with as well. How are you going to cope?
Well, we'll manage, I'm sure.
I think the big thing for us is that, unlike other shows, the band's on stage, and it's a proper rock band, so a 5-piece rock band. So rather than having the musical director in front of us and having the orchestration down in the pit, the noise and the sound will be directly behind us, so that you can't help but sing it like a rock number, because essentially that's what it feels like. So it's a bit unusual for us in that sense, but I think that will help.
And we've got rehearsals going on just in the other room, and you can hear them through there. But obviously, it's a large cast. I'm looking out at the rehearsals, and there is a sea of people out there, and that's a lot of wigs to be wearing.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we first started auditions for it, we had a lot of new people audition, and we've had a few drop out on the way, but I think this is probably one of the biggest companies that we've had on stage. Most of the girls are all right, because they've got long hair anyway. It's the guys that are having to source wigs and stuff like that now to be sort of that 80s sort of style rocker.
And the chances are, okay, there's always going to be makeup to be worn on stage anyway, but these guys are going to be wearing more makeup than probably the women as well, because that is the way the whole glam rock and the acts that we tended to see.
A lot of guy liner about. Yeah. There's a lot of guy liner in this show, and even the band. We're attempting to get the band a little bit sort of
because they'll be seen. Obviously, they're on stage, so
and they form an integral part of the show. And they've, Adam, who's our MD, he's actually got a couple of lines in there as well. So they're interactive in the show because they're on stage, but they're on stage in the nightclub that it's sort of set in.
And give us a bit more of the story then, because we know that you two have a bit of a thing going on, but how does the rest of the tale work out as you narrate it?
I don't want to give too much away, but essentially they have a bit of a falling out and a bit of a parting of the ways, and then it all comes good in the end.
It's a feel-good show. The music's really energetic. Everyone's going to have a really good time. It's great.
And there's more dance than you know what to do with, Olivia. I mean, how many musical numbers and how many dance routines have you had to learn for this?
Oh, had to get my stripper on, ready for the show. So that's been interesting. not too much stripping, so it's not too bad.
So essentially, the character goes to a strip club in Act 2.
Yeah.
Because she's so distraught at being left by Drew. So there's a bit of stripping going on. But it is a family show.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not you doing it, Simon.
That's it. So actually, don't count your blessings too soon,
okay,
Jason.
Right.
Because there may be a bit of stripping in there.
We shall see what he takes off and what he keeps on, but it's going to be great fun, great music, and I know a very talented cast. I mean, I know the work that you three have done in the past, and it's going to be well worth getting yourself down there to see. And musical highlights that you get to sing. What's your favourite, Simon?
I have a duet with a character in the show, which I can't give too much away because it will blow my cover for the whole show. But needless to say, you come along just for the duet.
Look out for his duet. That's great. Okay, Olivia.
Oh, you've got to love a bit of Don't Stop Believing at the end. That one's a good one.
And Dave?
My favourite's probably Oh Sherry, which is near the end where Drew realises and he's after her. So that's a really good get the crowd going sort of song as well.
And that's the way the music really builds through the whole piece.
It does,
yeah. Okay, well, we'll look forward to it. As you say, 25th through to the 29th of April, Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre. grandtheatre.co.uk to get your tickets, or 01902 429212 for the box office. Nip along to West Bromwich Operatic Society's Facebook page as well. Like the one there, and you'll find out about all of what they're doing, because there's more to them than just one show. But do it, have a great time, and enjoy it, and break a leg, but have a great time.
Will do. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason, and stay tuned for a special performance from Rock of Ages shortly. And of course, we'll have more from the Milk Bar at the same time next week. Remember, you can always download and listen to the latest edition of the Milk Bar from www.themilkbarpodcast.com. Right then, let's take a quirky trip back in time now with everyone's favourite historian. It's our very own Norman Bartlam.
During the war days of 100 years ago, in April 1917, there was a push to produce things for the war effort, and factory workers were expected to do their duty. No slacking was allowed. 2 toolmakers were charged at a Birmingham Munitions Tribunal with neglecting their work by playing cards during working hours. They admitted they had rushed through their work so that they could play in the last quarter of an hour. It was on the cards that they'd be fined, and they were. And 4 men from a Black Country factory were charged with wasting time by playing cards at 2 o'clock in the morning, and the bench also dealt with them, so to speak, by issuing fines of 40 shillings each. And in Coventry, a tribunal chairman played the ace card by reminding a group that they were of military age and that their old schoolfellows were in the trenches, depending upon the supplies received from the factories and for their ability to continue to fight effectively. What would these men think, he said, if they read of young fellows playing cards in working hours? It seems playing the patriotic card was a big deal.
Big deal indeed. Remember, if you'd like Norman to take a look at something in history, then why don't you get in touch? You can email news@madeinbirmingham.tv. So then, it's time to close the pages of the Birmingham News Weekend magazine for Saturday. Now, I'll be here at the same time tomorrow, and then there's more news for Birmingham and the West Midlands every weekday with me at 1, and then Mike is here at 6 and 9 in the evenings. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you back here at the same time tomorrow. And to play us out, as promised, here's a song from the stage show Rock of Ages. It's Don't Stop Believing. Try a bit.